Behold, the spellbinding abilities of Rivenwood Academy.
All right, and we are here now for Season 2, Episode 21 of Rivenwood Academy. We're just going to transition right into our game here. So with that said, Aaron, take it away.
Hey guys, it was a crazy session last session. We found ourselves in the middle of a very intense battle between three quite capable, quite deadly people, including Emperor Goldbane, Wilhelm Creator, the Vice Chancellor, and a surprise treachery from Lady Sylvana, who ended up having trapped you in this strange new magic. And it was a little bit of a tense situation. Micah did choose, instead of going with the Emperor, to go back to the party. You successfully fought your way out of there, terrifying or scorching a large number of Royal Petrocosta, and then the tower began to fall. So you took to the wings of owls, I think, not eagles. Or was it eagles? I think it was owls. You took the wings of owls, headed out of the city. You got to see some of the fighting below you as ballista and catapults and flaming missiles and arcane artillery all were attacking the city of Havana. You successfully brought your now hostage, you might say, Emperor Goldbane, back to the command tents where Ardris's father was, Lord Alarin. And we ended with a bit of a fractured approach to what happens next. Kellen was taking out some of that anger and aggression or fear or whatever's going through his head via some excellent marksmanship with a crossbow. Ardris had a difficult discussion with his father concerning what does the army do now that the Emperor has been successfully captured. Wilhelm sat under a tree and looked very sad. Yvain and Micah had a very touching scene in which Micah has clearly been hit hard by all of this, and Yvain did her best to reach out. Otis and Miri relaxed in the grass a little bit, took some moments, heal, and to kind of like go through their own reactions to the day. It's about midday at this point, because you teleported in quite early in the morning. It's into early afternoon with all of the rest and the still fighting that's gone on and the verbal sparring for the Alarans. Your turn to tell me, what do we do next?
I mean, there's going to be a lot from Otis, so y'all feel free to go first.
Will this be post circumstance with Yvain and Micah reading from the poetry, or is this like still during that stage per se? Just like I think
everyone's at about the same point in time where you can continue with what you're doing. Like in Kellen's case, if you want to continue fighting, you could. Or you're at a point where you've been doing this for a little bit, you can choose to change like what you're doing. So you have just finished some poetry, you could feasibly continue, or you could call it there.
Gotcha. Well, Micah, and from Yvain's perspective, would have just been listening the entire time, absorbing the piece of information. Their head works jerky and snappy in a way, like I said, very robotic, but still paying attention to everything that Yvain is saying. But that's pretty much them during that scene. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Yvain just like until Micah says, that they're done. She just reads until she gets to. She's skipping around in the book, like she's not going like page to page to page, until she gets to a point where she's just like, I don't really have anything else that's comforting to read.
Yvain, can you make an insight check for me?
It's an 11.
11. All right. You do notice as you're reading, it's difficult to get anything off of Micah, just kind of like the space that they are in. You're not getting a lot of feedback. But you do notice that Biltham's not terribly far from you, and he does seem to be passively listening to what's going on. You can't get a read on him either, kind of based on his headspace, but it seems you have an audience of 2, at least for the parts that are loud enough.
Slightly flustered cleric noises because she wasn't anticipating the Chancellor to be listening in. But she would read just a little bit louder so that he could hear.
Miri and Otis, you're reclined on the grass somewhere, just got some healing from your short rest. What's next for either of you?
MZ, take the lead, because I know I ate a lot of time last time. You got this one.
Miri is mostly just trying to get Otis just to sit down, not even like pay attention to like what's going on like with the city and the fighting, like even like try and like physically turn him so he's like looking at like a mountain or something or a tree.
I mean, you would know that even though you are doing this, you are successful in turning Otis away. Otis is still very alert. Otis's senses are very acute. So just because you're doing that, Otis still has a grasp of what's going on around him. So it's kind of working and kind of not.
Otis?
What? I mean, what? He'll soften just a little bit after the second time.
So, do you want to talk about what happened in there? Because something happened where a lot of people got hurt with the thing that we talked about before.
Well, it was kind of an emergency. Can't be scared every time it happens. It's just really bad when it happens to me.
And it didn't this time? You didn't get hit by it, or?
No, I didn't get hit. If it happened all the time, I wouldn't be able to use my magic.
Yeah. So what do you think that we should do now?
Find Honinko, like I said earlier.
Not whenever all of the fighting stops. Right now, in this very moment.
What is that supposed to be? Otis looks genuinely confused.
You know, Otis, it feels like you always try and plan ahead almost. You're always trying to go after something that maybe in this very moment you don't need to do.
Otis looks even more confused. I get you. Otis does.
Yeah. You know, she's like trying to like figure out how to tell, because she doesn't understand that he doesn't understand.
You got that charisma. Go for broke.
All right. What if we go talk to some of the others? See how they're doing.
Who?
Everybody.
You can see Otis looks a little downcast at that. Like, everybody.
Why don't we start with Micah? Micah, and she's gonna like look around. She's like, Yvain, and I guess the Chancellor's over there.
I guess we could check on the kid.
Mary's gonna hold out her hand.
Otis is gonna look at it for a second, but then take it. Because you can tell Otis isn't apprehensive about it. It just has to register that, oh, this is a thing.
She's not even just gonna like help him up. She's gonna hold it as they walk over to them.
Okay. We moving.
They're not terribly far. I'm sorry, I had to collect myself after my heart exploded. They're not terribly far away from where you are, so you kind of have to dodge a few like couriers running by with messages that are heading into the command center and this kind of stuff. And you end up approaching them in such a way that all three of them can see you. Yvain is a little bit more distracted because you've got a book also in front of you. But she's in the middle of finishing a stanza or something as you are approaching.
Hi. Just a little wave.
Hello.
You see Micah turn their head towards you, and once again, well, for you all, this would be the first time you notice their movements is very jerky, very robotic, and their eyes are just not like glazed over, but there's not much life there. Like the highlights is gone, and they turn their head towards you in a strange movement, and they look up and says, "Hi."
Can Otis roll insight? Or would this be passive insight?
What are you trying to insight?
What
So far
Otis
you've
know?
got high.
Would Otis notice the change in Micah's behavior?
I think physically, like you can rely on your passive perception to notice a difference in physicality. You might not yet understand the meaning because it's been such a short amount of time, but I'd say it's a pretty marked physical difference between how Micah has been moving and how they are moving now.
Well, then Otis is just going to say, "What's the matter with you?"
This?
You sick or something, kid?
They turn their head toward the side, looks towards your vein, and then looks up. No, I'm ghostling.
You said ghostling?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, Muriel's definitely. Otis is gonna look around and be like, "What's that mean?"
Ghostling.
I now understand why I'm different.
Well, we're all different, kid. What you need?
I'm dead.
No, you're not. You're standing right here. You're walking
Mary's
and
also
talking.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you don't eat. You don't breathe unless you want to.
Well, not a life more in between.
In between what? You're just sitting next to a tree, kid. Oh, this is awful. I'm sorry.
Like, are you saying that you're between life and death right now?
I think so.
She's gonna look at Yvain. That's the cleric here.
Yvain's just kind of like sitting there processing everything, and if possible, she's gonna activate her Eyes of the Grave just to see, like, are they actually undead?
Ooh, that is an excellent question about whether it will trigger.
Mm-hmm.
I think you activate Eyes of the Grave. And, okay, first of all, you tell me. When you activate Eyes of the Grave, you look at someone who is undead. What do you see?
I feel normally she'd see like maybe like a little like almost like a silver mist coming off of them, almost as if like it's like a spirit a little bit, just like off whatever their body is.
You look at Micah and you do not see a silver mist. But kind of as you look around, you see like the tree has this faint glow of life. Your friends have this faint glow of life. Your hand has this faint glow of life. Where Micah is, there is like a void where that glow, that life is not. So you don't see an undead like aura, but it's missing something that's in all the alive auras, for sure.
It's just like, but I think they're telling the truth. Because you two are alive. I'm alive. The tree's alive. Normally when I'm around undead, they give off a particular aura. Micah has nothing. Not living, not undead.
I should point out, because Wilhelm is close enough to you, you do have something giving off this silvery aura in your presence. I mean, he's a little bit ways away. I'm not sure what's the range for Eyes of the Grave.
60 feet.
Yeah, he'd be inside the range, but at the further end of it.
She tactfully just does not say anything.
Tactfully doesn't say anything.
That's perfect. So Michael and nod and say, I am here for purpose. Purpose is balance.
Was that what you want?
Want is not meant for me.
Micah, you know that's not true.
True. If want is for, and they'll plate their hands, and you see again their hands moving very jerking as they try to point at each one of the individuals that they consider as alive, and they'll say, you and you and you are alive, and your wants matter. My purpose is balance. I don't. They pause, kind of look down, and then you see them kind of like go into their backpack where they realize something, taking away the components, the magical components in there, and they'll bring out their sketchbook that they used to draw in for quite a bit of time. They'll bring out the sketchbook that they have, take a look at it, and then they'll start pushing dirt to the side and start burying the sketchbook underneath the dirt. And then as they push the dirt, push the sketchbook into the dirt, and then push the dirt over the sketchbook, it says, "They're now complete."
Mary's gonna get on the ground and start digging out that sketchbook.
Otis is looking very upset right now. And Otis will say, "Is this because of what your dad told you?"
Well, he's right. I am not alive, but also balance has showed me. And at that moment, you see them kind of like look towards the side. I'm not sure if others would see it, but they see to like their on the left side of their shoulders, like a spectral image of like a Mondron just like rotating around them. And they'll say, I am back for purpose only. I am agent of balance. What is for you?
Well, are we still friends?
Yes. Serve balance. Serve you.
Friends don't serve each other, kid. It's two people that do what they want and they like each other.
It kind of like looks to the confused, and you just see their head kind of like snapping from side to side, trying to understand that concept. But like before, where things just absorb, you can see is not really registering as usually, and they're just like, so understand.
Yo, don't let Otis talk.
Argus, as you're walking up, you see Wilhelm is sitting a little farther away from them, closer towards the tent, and he meets your eyes and very pointedly looks at Micah, and even like gives a little nod to make sure that you are heading that direction, but does not make any other movements. Miri, as you get the sketchbook back out of the dirt, it opens to a page where you remember when you were in Twist Junction and Micah was sitting underneath the tree sketching his mom the first time he decided, this is what I want. I want to go find my mom. It opens to that page as you're getting it out and smoothing it out. Micah, as you finish talking, Nazareth comes and sits on your shoulder.
Oh. Hello.
Hello.
Don't let Otis talk. He's going to say something jacked up.
Oh. But it is okay. I understand now. So it's easier.
Otis is looking very frustrated with Micah. Like Miri would know this is a level of frustration that you've probably only seen one. You probably haven't seen it at all. Yeah, you haven't seen it at all. But this is definitely more frustrated than you've ever seen Otis.
And I think Nazareth builds up off of that a little bit. Like you see Nazareth's feathers ruffle a little bit. And Nazareth seems to be glaring at you, Otis. Like glaring at you for a bit. And then turns to Micah. I understand now. It is okay.
It's not okay, Micah. Look at this. And she's gonna show them the sketchbook. You wanted to find your mom earlier whenever we couldn't. Before all of this, when we went to the city and we found your dad, and you wanted to find her. You wanted something.
I wanted, but my wants were wrong. That's why everything failed. Because I am not meant to want when I want, when I try things with bad. People die. People hurt. So does not go right. Balance showed me that want is not meant for me. I am meant for purpose only. Purpose of balance.
Like I could care less if you were a zombie right in front of me. You have wants. You've been traveling with us forever. When we started school all together, to me, that's still being alive and wanting. Being a person. We all make mistakes.
Why exactly are you all huddled around the trees and the dirt like this? Something happened?
Mary's gonna like just turn her head, like snap her head, just look at just very uncharacteristically mad.
Yo, give us the Pyrea part too. Yo.
Hi, Ardris.
Why are you talking like that?
Talking like what?
Has something happened to you all? Someone said anything? If the soldiers were instructed to treat you kindly, are you alright? Or are you struggling with the events of today?
Oh, I learned my purpose. I am not alive, but not dead. Father killed me when
Why would any of that make you not be alive?
I am not like you. And they'll point their hands to their fingers to them and they kind of like gesture to everyone else. I was brought back for purpose.
Well, I mean, just depending on who you ask, everyone was brought back for a purpose. Does it make you different? Though I admit your magic is kind of interesting, but...
And they look towards the Modron on the side, kind of like for almost expecting for them to say something. When they don't, they kind of turn back. I don't understand, but I wish, not wish, wish.
The Otis smirk.
Wish.
You still have wants, Micah. You are still a person, even if you don't have that little thing that Ari. I make you made.
Sudden possum mom has spawned.
right.
You know, there's like a possum that ran by. It's fine.
Oh no.
You good? You good? You vain? You out here? Don't drop the Nimsy.
Did I miss something?
Like, it's a little hard to explain. So, like, you all radiate life. Undead radiate a different aura. Micah has neither. Almost as if they are in between.
You ever looked at them like that before now?
No.
No.
The voice from God said no.
God said no.
No.
Oh dear heavens, that was a very clear order.
Otis is gonna say.
For just a moment, all of the believers of Thim Song in the area are just like, I don't know what it is, but the answer is no.
Wanted me to heal you, spare the dying, but God said no. I don't know what you expect me to do. Otis will actually say, I don't think it's that the kid ain't alive. I think the kid's scared to live.
Just because I'm not entirely sure what Mr. Vane here can see or not see. Just because it is different does not mean that you are alive. There are hundreds of thousands of theories about what it means to be alive, and I assure you, you meet most, if not all of them. Do you know which is my favorite?
What's that?
Otis rolls his eyes.
It's to an extent, but young Otis has been saying for this entire, since I've ever met him, is partially correct. It is doing what you want, it is what it means to be alive, but it also means that you have to deal with the pain and the suffering associated with it. You will want and you will suffer, and that process is what it means to be alive. It is why there are armies that are willing to fight and throw their lives away at the drop of a hat for another person. It's what we choose to do. And that process is living.
But your wants sometimes come true, right?
Sometimes. But there are plenty of people, men, woman, and child, who die long before any of their desires come true. Some of us are fortunate, some of us aren't, but we all walk the path.
I didn't want to grow up the way I did, but I did. And that's why I'm here. And you're here. Why are you trying to give all that up? You're acting like your mama didn't do nothing for you. The chance saved you to do what you want.
I don't know. I am learning. I will think. And you can see, like, there's now their eyes are darting back and forth as they're trying to absorb all of the pieces of information given. You can see, like, they're trying to adjust what's being told, but it's almost like there's a barrier of sorts that's trying to keep things locked in place. 1 second. My apologies. I just gotta show a quick picture real quick. But yeah,
Oh snap! We get art of the scene.
Some of us do.
Yeah. Boop. There you go. Okay.
Nice. Very nice.
So they will look towards and say, I will talk with balance and see what they say. If I should want, I will try to unlock it again.
What?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear that part. Can you say that again?
I'm sorry, unlock what?
Desire.
You can't unlock your... I'm sorry, what exactly are we discussing?
Micah, you said that you were going to talk to Balance. What do you mean by talk to them?
You just see kind of like their third eye open, as I think at least the clockwork noises could be heard, because it's usually, I think if I remember in Tasha's book, that is the audible sound that does come to place with the clockwork does generate their spells. It says, all around us, I see them. They are why I'm here and not dead. I will talk to them to see if I can have one. I believe they showed me that once was not meant for me, and that's why everything failed. But I could be wrong.
Nobody.
Think about what he's talking about?
Oh.
Again?
Do I know anything about what they're talking about? What they're talking about?
Roll history.
Nice.
$16 plus 10.
26? Very nice.
26.
No.
Oh wow, Aaron.
26. No.
Aaron, why you acting like that show from the SpongeBob episode? Can I have something to eat? No.
Hey, you learn something for knowing how well you know that you don't know something. So you are 26, 26 sure that you do not know what they're talking about.
Gotcha.
Can I have something to eat? Stop.
Oh.
I'm not sure what you mean by talking to Balance, or exactly how your unique abilities came to be. But you can't lock away your emotions or unlock them or anything. That's not possible.
I different. That's why I am void. I think but I will ask permission if I can want, so I don't upset balance.
Do what you
should-
want. Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, that's literally exactly what she's gonna say.
Do what you want, kid, as long as you want to do it. I mean, if you were going to say it, it would have been way more eloquent and nuanced, but not Otis.
I'm imagining surround sounds, do what you want at this point. Like, where you're just both like, no!
Like, and no one can tell you that you can want. You don't need permission to want. Whatever balance is, they're wrong.
You see their eyes like widen for a second, and then they like look towards the side where they see the spectral image, but I'm presuming no one else sees it, and they just look back.
Hey, Mary. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Gotcha.
Balance didn't like that.
No. Okay. It's going to be a 18.
No.
You
No.
no. So you're like we don't care what balance wants, and Micah looks to their shoulder, and for just a moment, you hear more clockwork than is normal for in Micah's presence. Like when they do spells and stuff, you hear the cool clockwork, like that is a signature of their magic. But for just a moment, you hear faint clockwork surrounding you. Not like close, not like up against your skin or something, but like from all directions. You hear just faint bits of clockwork, lots of different timing. So it doesn't sound like there's one like large clock or something, but like it's just a split second of you hear kind of this noise and then it all fades again.
She'll look at them. Did you do something, Micah? Just now?
No,
That puts Otis on edge.
I did it.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is that you don't need the permission to ask somebody to feel whatever you want. And I know you can feel. You have once. You've done it before. They're wrong in telling you that you don't have permission.
And you see them kind of like look down at the ground and then look back towards the image on their shoulder. And then they look back towards you and the others and say, they have my life in their hands. I can't upset that, but thank you for your words. I wish, no. They stop. They look back up.
Closing off them desires ain't as easy as you think, kid?
Mm. Mm. And they look towards, first they look towards the sky, and then they look towards you, Otis. And they say, there's still issues, but we will see.
All right.
Thank you for your words.
Aaron,
Yes.
with Otis's passive 24, is Otis aware of the Vice Chancellor's presence?
Oh my gosh, did you take the observant feat?
Yeah, I told you last
I
session.
forgot.
Otis's passive 24 perception.
Yeah, no, you have clearly clocked the Vice Chancellor. I mean, the Vice Chancellor is not hiding. He was just a little ways away. But I would say that you would be aware, like, as Argus walked up, like, it probably caught enough of your attention that you saw the Vice Chancellor is paying attention to this conversation, even though he's made no move to join it or to come any closer.
Well, Otis with no tag, like, hey, Vice Chancellor, I want to talk to you.
He stares at you for a moment, and there's a sigh, and then he gestures for you to come closer to him.
Otis makes his way over.
All right, about 6 feet. Real quick, before we jump into that conversation, I do want to check in on Caleb really quick, because I'm not sure where on the map you are. Like, are you still taking pot shots at Ventrida, or...
State of the fighting at the moment? Is it still mostly like an aerial thing going on?
There are quite a few Ventrida that are holding to the north, away from where, like, on the opposite side of the city, basically. So, as you know, Vabana's up on kind of like the top of this mountain. The forces that are attacking from the valley upwards. Or have climbed to better vantages on the side of the nearby range. But most of them in Ventrida are trying to stay out of range for the artillery that's currently pummeling the city itself. Make a perception check.
For a total of 21.
21, nice. There does seem to be one or actually a pair of Ventrida, like, off in the distance, that as you watch them kind of flying around, you think, that looks a little bit familiar. You remember that on your way to Vabana the first time, you ran into a pair of Ventrida captain in there first, who were on the back of these giant eagles. And you recognize them from a distance as being among the group. They're not the only ones there, but they are kind of skirting around the backside. They're not seeming to take any offensive action. But you remember that, like, when they found you on your way through the mountain pass, they also didn't take any aggressive action.
Well, I don't have fly, so I have no way to get up to them anyway. How long has she been at this?
Oh, a couple hours. You're probably honestly starting to feel it in your shoulder, because this is not what you normally do. So you're probably starting to feel a little bit of just general fatigue from keeping it up, but that doesn't mean that you can't do more or other things in the area.
Well, more specifically, that means it's been going on long enough that one, he likely feels better, and two, he's probably bored because we're talking about Kellen. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of stay in the area, but I'm going to start attuning to the gauntlets.
Ooh. All right. So you find yourself like a little place to kind of sit down where you feel like you're far enough away from everybody that you're probably not going to get hit if you're not looking at this guy, you know, or you're not going to even get like a jab from an elbow of somebody trying to do everything.
Yeah. It's more so that I just want to also stay in range where I can kind of casually observe my little contingent of 6 soldiers, because we're buddies now, and if they get injured, I want to be able to act.
Yeah, you are buddies, you and your squad. Yeah, sure. So yeah, you can absolutely settle down for a little bit and focus in on those racers.
That's the plan.
Cool. In that case, I'm going to let you get back to that and zoom back to Otis.
Okay. So Otis has made his way over?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey!
Hello.
You saved us.
It's my intention.
I was wrong.
So was I.
Drogon and Elliot told me I'm supposed to say thank you, so thank you. You could, well, you'd be able to tell Otis does have genuine gratitude.
It looks like he looks very subdued, very quiet. When you say you've made mistakes, he's got a bundle of cloth that is next to him that he has a kind of a hand protectively over when he says, "So have I." He does look like, he doesn't look like he's going to burst into tears anytime soon, but he does look very, when you say thank you, it's almost like it doesn't hit yet.
What you got there?
Oh. It is the remains of Lady Sylvana.
You look real sad about it. Was she part of your ecosystem?
Yes.
I'm surprised. Picked up on that.
He's an intelligent man.
Oh, that's good. Oh, was y'all married or something?
No. She gave me a home when I did not have one, and a career that until about 2 weeks ago I greatly enjoyed.
That's a lot.
And then she betrayed me and everything that I thought that both of us agreed upon, and put people who I am in charge of keeping safe in danger. And I don't know why. I think it is because I do not know why that it bothers me so much.
Otis has the wisdom to understand, but not the tact to communicate it.
Fair, speak from the heart.
I bet that hurts a lot. I couldn't imagine Drogon or Elliot doing something like that to me.
Drogon and Elliot are good men.
You don't have to tell me that. I already know that. So what you gonna do? You gonna bring it back to life or something?
I don't know. I don't know what is possible with the remains that are left. If I can get answers.
Do you want answers? You may not like the answers you get.
I think I need answers, whether I want them or not.
I was going to ask you to do something, but it don't look like I can do that now, because now you got something you want to do.
No, this is... and he straightens up into like a more vice chancellor look. And is like, no, this is a long-term project. What can I help you with?
You know another one of the students is missing here, right?
We're still going through all of our head counts. I can't be entirely certain that we've got everyone, but if you know of a specific student...
Honinko.
Honinko is not missing.
You know where she is?
No, but she's no longer at the school.
You telling me she dropped out or something?
She was withdrawn.
Who did that? The chancellor tried to get rid of me before. I didn't exactly want to go, but she did it. Maybe she got out because somebody didn't want her to be there.
He takes a moment to look at you in an evaluating manner. But then he gives a little nod and goes, I think you may be right, but I don't think it was someone at the school. There were rumors about why she was at the school, considering very few students come out of the Gorgon Empire. At least, well, it's not rare, but it's less common, we'll say.
That explains why everybody was looking at me funny. Oh, this is completely genuine with this statement.
Not quite, but you're on a mostly parallel track.
But yeah, you don't have to worry about rumors. Oh, go ahead.
No, don't let me interrupt you. By all means.
You don't have to worry about rumors. Honinko told us that she was there to spy on Micah.
Oh, well, then I guess her job was complete as her family withdrew her from the school. Actually, it was the day that it blew up that she was packing up and leaving.
But then when we talked to her, that's when all the guards came to get us. I don't know if there was some sort of trigger word or something, but she looked like she didn't really want to be there or be with them.
He stands up and dusts himself off and takes this bundle and holds it kind of rather carefully in his hands. But when he meets your gaze, it's a lot sharper.
Like, are we talking like hunter sharp?
It's got a tinge of red behind that sclera. As he goes, so what you're telling me is that one of my students is in duress.
What's duress?
Trouble.
Yeah.
Understood. And he walks away from you with purpose.
Yeah, Otis. Is Otis within earshot of Miri?
I mean, it's like 60 feet. So like if you raise your voice a little bit, like you don't have to yell, but you do have to speak up.
Oh, Otis is always loud.
That is true.
Hey, Mary, I think the vice chancellor gonna do something.
What do you mean do something?
About Oninko.
Miri stands up.
Searching Why are we searching for Honinko?
She is starting to need help.
Her. Yeah, Otis wants to find her.
You understand the entire city is currently being bombarded from a distance.
Mm-hmm. I tried to tell him, but I don't think he's going to run in there yet. But if something happens with the Chancellor or the Vice Chancellor, he might. So we should probably go talk to him.
Vice Chancellor, where are you going?
You say this to air as there's nothing there, but you watch as he goes into. He moves quite fast. You watch as he's
doing that Twilight run.
He goes into not the command tent, but one nearby.
Oh, we see your mouth moving, but we can't hear you. Probably need to pick up your voice.
See him moving so quickly all the time. Oh.
That's the advantage of being a vampire. You follow.
Moving like that earlier in the adventure.
To be fair, you've seen him all twice before the school exploded. Yeah. You don't know if he was moving that fast or not.
I think that there would have been a rumor if he was moving that fast the whole time. All right.
One could argue if you were a vampire living in a world where certain students would say that you can't be a professor because you are a vampire, you must take pains to walk a little slow.
Certain students named Andres.
Okay, stop arguing with God. We have to move on. Okay?
As you go to follow, who else is trying to follow the Vice Chancellor now?
Otis is definitely going to attempt to follow.
Otis, Ardris.
Miri's going to follow.
Miri.
But she's going, before she does get up, she's going to see if Yvain or Micah are going to follow.
Micah was actually turning towards Yvain because Yvain was reading to them poetry. So they will take a look at again, over their shoulder for a second as if they're seeing something, and then they'll look towards Yvain. See, what is our purpose now?
I believe it is going to be making sure the Vice Chancellor doesn't get himself into trouble.
I see. Very well. Uphold law.
She like tucks her book away and like holds her ungloved hand out to see if Micah will take it.
Micah looks up at the hand, and you see their head towards to the side for a second, as if they're trying to register the gesture, and then they'll reach up and grab Yvain's hand and grab it and look up and says, "Thank you."
You're welcome. Now let's go. And she'll look at Mary and like nod.
And we're all going.
Nice. Micah, on your shoulder, you hear Nazareth say, "Thank you. Let's go." Nazareth has still not left your shoulder.
Oh wow. Are they on the same size as the picture I showed you, or
no,
opposite?
On the opposite. On the opposite side.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. They're interesting. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So as you're all heading that direction, you get about halfway to that tent when it opens back up and the Vice Chancellor comes back out. This time, no bundle with him. So the cloth thing that he was carrying that was the remains of Lady Savannah, he has deposited somewhere. He also appears to be cleaned up just a little bit. Took some time to clean off the blood from the previous encounter and like comb his hair kind of thing. And he's walking towards. Well, he's going to walk past you and then sees all of you and turns to walk towards you. Oh, are you all finished?
Finished with what?
I have no idea.
Oh.
You're just all in a group now, so.
I don't know where you think you're going. You don't even have the information.
The only information I require is that one of my students is in peril or distress, and I will see to it that she is returned to the school premises safely.
Then where you gonna start looking? You know her last known location?
Something tells me you know more than you're saying.
Otis obviously knows more than he's saying, but yeah, that's right. Vice Chancellor's definitely intelligent. You could tell Otis is attempting to leverage the situation. The way any 16-year-old would who thinks they know what they're doing. I'm playing the character. I don't know what y'all want me to do.
That's true. That makes sense.
Mr. Otis.
Yeah.
You absolutely did the right thing in coming to me with your concerns. I promise you, this is not the first time that I've had to deal with other people in order to gain the knowledge, safety, or security of those under my protection.
Well, that's why we're going together, right?
Wrong. The Vice Chancellor is incredibly charismatic. And in fact, I have just rolled a persuasion check.
Is this against? Is this a charisma saving throw?
Yeah, I'm gonna call it charisma saving throw.
Because Otis desires the opposite of what he's trying to be convinced of. All right, I'll go for it. Thank you, phone, for not working the way I need you to work at the very moment I need you. No, I got it. We good. Okay. Okay, that is an unnatural one.
Okay.
I rolled a 2 minus 1, 1.
Okay. So he got a 28 to persuade you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So when he looks into your eyes and he says, you did the right thing in coming and talking to me, you believe it. You believe that for as many times as you've tried to go it on your own, this time you reached out for help and you did the right thing. This is a trusted person that you can say this will safely happen. And when he says, this is not the first time I've had to deal with other people, this is not the first time I've had to go rescue someone, you believe him that he is capable of doing this in whatever manner he sees fit. So persuasion is not a magical spell in which you no longer have personhood. Like, you still make your own choices, but you, like, without no doubt whatsoever, you believe those two things are true. That you did the right thing in telling him and that he can handle the situation. Generally, everyone, like, you got a 28 on persuasion. Generally, all of you believe that is the truth of what he is saying.
Can Miri still roll against it?
Yeah, go for it.
Gotcha. It's going to be a... It's a 25.
That's still extraordinarily high. I'm not mad.
I mean, one of the advantages that you have against Otis is like, it's like a very touching, like, you've seen like those Thai life insurance ads where like it's so touching and you're like weeping and you're like, I don't know, like I don't need life insurance, especially not in Thailand, but like if I did, I would for sure go to this place because like it was just so like the ethos of it was so good. You know what I mean? So he's getting hit on the ethos side. Miri, for you, you're aware of how persuasion works and how these persuasive techniques work, especially after your time with Alfred Bloom. For you, it's not an ethos appeal that's hitting you. This is logos. You actually believe that like he has structured this argument in such a way that you're like, okay, this is a trusted adult. He is a person who's capable. We've done the correct thing in giving it to him. It is logos, right? Ethos, logos, and pathos. I always get logos and pathos mixed up.
I always
it's been a
forget
while since I've done anything with rhetoric.
I forgot what pathos is, but yeah, you definitely hit it on the head for those two. That's for sure. I always forget what pathos is. But you know what? Time for Google. But keep going. Sorry.
Pathos is an appeal to authority, isn't it? Man, I don't know. It's really been a long time since I've had to do any rhetoric.
I think
pathos is sadness.
Sadness. That's what it is. Okay.
Miri's gonna look at the vice chancellor. It's like, I understand what you believe that you're going to do. Are you going to use violence?
That entirely depends upon the situation. I mean, if I find Hanenko here in a camp in relative safety, I will use every political maneuver I have in order to regain her studenthood with Rivenwood Academy. If I need to march myself into this city and stealth my way through to wherever she may be and rescue her from a potentially lethal threat, then I will do so with force. So it kind of depends.
Miri's gonna look at the others. Should we tell him where we last maybe saw her?
I got ethos and pathos backwards.
We have much to learn.
Pathos is an emotional appeal.
Well, to be fair, I do think it would be ethos for Otis's natural one
at this point. Yeah.
Like it was more of a like, oh, okay, this is a trusted figure.
But this entire city is currently being attacked. There's absolutely no way to guarantee that you will survive. And should you fail to survive, there's almost no guarantee that I will be able to arrange for your school to continue to exist in a form that is even remotely similar to what it looks like now. You're aware of that, correct?
I am aware. However, it is the same rationale that got me to this nation in the first place that compels me to go forward. I came here for the rescue of one of my students. I will continue for the rescue of one of my students. I mean, as much as all of us adore Micah, they're not the main character in this world. All of my students are important.
I think the vice chancellor almost laughed there.
Well, the vice chancellor is rightly aware that, like, as the chancellor's kid, like, Micah is a little bit of the main character in this story.
I wasn't ready, Aaron. I'm sorry. The meta was too strong.
I do my best.
Well, you can tell Otis is borderline completely satisfied.
Just puts his magical book of prophecy and sword of prophecy back onto his back and nods his understanding.
Mary will twitch her little ears, but she doesn't understand pink.
You gotta make sure you come back alive, because if you don't, you won't get your answers.
I absolutely cannot promise that given my current state of undeath, but I promise to try to return.
Whatever.
That was another thing that we need to talk about very quickly, Vice Chancellor, before you leave.
I'll pencil you in for 5 minutes. What's going on?
So were you going to did anybody else know about the thing?
That I can use my hands.
The other stuff as well, in addition to the hands.
You mean the fact that I am a vampire and also a warlock?
Yeah, that.
Oh, yes, the staff were aware.
Okay.
In fact, second year students who took my classes had some awareness. It's not something I generally go around announcing, given prejudices that can exist. But I have a comfortable home in Therantomia, or had a comfortable home in Therantomia prior to my appointment to Rivenwood. And most people who get to know me first tend to not have so much of a problem with it.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I just maybe would have liked to have known before. Well, I mean, before some of us were a little angry with you.
I would like to ask you a question. Let's say hypothetically there is a group of prodigious students at your school who have unfortunately, due to a later revealed betrayal, ended up separated from your school and then have concocted an entire plausible explanation of these events by saying that you yourself are the architect of what has happened. Would you tell them that you're a vampire?
Well, I'm not the vampire, but I probably wouldn't.
There.
Well,
Was there anything else?
No, but I guess we're kind of cool now, because it was kind of cool, but also kind of scary.
One reason I typically don't do that with an audience.
Okay. We're good.
But for the record, you are my students, and regardless of your opinions of me, it was never going to change the fact that I would protect you.
You can tell Otis is extremely pleased with the statement.
Airline, please pass along my apologies to Lord Alaran that I may be absent for a moment.
Yourself killed?
We'll see. And he heads off somewhere. It looks to you like he's heading into, in the valley, there's quite a few, little mini camps set up, different squads, different regiments, whatever. Magicians are kind of in one area. There's an area where they're holding prisoners of war and this kind of thing. He's heading somewhere into that fray. It is also in the general direction of Vabana.
Okay.
Well, while you all are taking care of everything else, I believe there's someplace that I have to go.
We need help. Your mother.
Is that where we're headed next?
Where is Kellen?
Hey, Kellen.
Yeah.
It hasn't been quite an hour, given their conversation, but I think we're just going to play with time here a little bit, because we can say you knocked up a little earlier, blah, 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 it's fine. What I need you to do is I need a sleight of hand check, and then I need 2 concentration checks.
Sleight of hand and then concentration. Okay. The sleight of hand is 8. Do you need the concentration checks in order?
Yes, please.
The first one is 17, and the second one is 13.
Okay.
So 8, 17, 13.
Okay. All right. As you sit kind of against this rocky surface. Get yourself trying to get comfortable. You feel the press of like where Otto is wrapped around your torso, particularly in your back. As you lean back into it, it feels very solid and very cool. Except there's one spot that is kind of over where your own heart is that is a little bit warmer, and it kind of pulses with this, like, it's a very gentle heat. It's not like it's burning you or something, but you can feel it. As you focus in on the bracers, like I'm imagining you're sitting kind of like cross-legged with your hands on your knees, palms up. So you can look at the inscriptions on the inside of each of these bracers. And as you do so, you feel the auto vest that you're kind of wearing begin to untangle, but you're still focused on that bracers. So you don't really notice what it's doing. Some of your new best buddies, your squad friends, miss quite a few shots in a row as they turn around and they look, and you are being wrapped in like this like lattice work cocoon of sharp protrusions, as this, like, it's kind of like a thorny ball of metal kind of comes out from around you with lots of these little sharp protrusions that come off of it. Otto has gone into full defense mode as you focus in on the bracers. And you look down at the bracers, and something doesn't seem quite right. You're focused on them, but it's like you haven't figured out how to start the activation process. Your failure on your sleight of hand check is going to make it's the opposite of proceeding. The following concentration checks DC higher. I'm telling you this now because I know you have several abilities that let you reroll and do things, as well as I think you still have inspiration. Not sure if you do or not. I think you do.
Okay, step 1. Can I inspire the sleight of hand?
Yeah.
18.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. So you're looking at it, and you finally do realize that where it looked to be like two solid pieces, clearly there has to be a seam because it somehow ended up on your wrists. Like when Otto like furled around you, somehow it got there. And you take a moment, and you finally do find those seams, and as you do, you realize that there is a plate that kind of slides back, and you're able to see the Arcana tech that is underneath that plate on the inside of the bracer. So you slide that plate back. You know, if you slid it back and out, you can take the bracer off. But if you slide it just back, it kind of locks into place, and you can see the Arcana tech. You do it on both sides, and then you begin to focus to attune. As you do, you start with left or right?
Left.
Left. You start with the left one. You begin to focus. What level spell would you like to pump into this thing?
Third.
You focus, and you can see that there's a series of gems that are embedded underneath this plate that seem to act as miniature arcane foci. And there is 10 of them. And as you do this, 3 of these light up. A red, a yellow, and an orange. 3 of these light up. And when you stop concentrating on that spell, 1, do mark it off your spell slots, it's gone. 2, it remains lit. You believe that spell, or the potential of that spell, is housed in that bracer. You turn to go to the other one, and what are you focusing on?
I'll do another 3rd level spell.
Okay. As you focus on the 3rd level spell, you can see like there is a glowing faint within those foci, but it doesn't seem to fully connect. Your concentration check was too low for this to succeed.
Can I attempt to rewrite the history of our timeline on that one?
You can attempt to rewrite the history of your timeline on that one.
Nope.
No. Okay. So you focus, you go back 6 seconds, and you stare at it again, and unfortunately, those 3 glow just a little bit and then go back dormant. Now, as you finish attuning and you come into like the full property of how this works, I don't have the page for you yet, but I'll send it to you. You know that you need the same spell slot attuned on both wrists in order to use that power. So right now you have 3 on one hand, 0 on the other. You have 3 like circles basically stored, but until you get at least 1 on the other hand, you can't use it. It goes up to 10 on both sides, so you can conceivably store 10 and 10 and be able to do a 9th level spell. Or 9 and 9. It doesn't matter. 2 5-level spells, 5th level spells, etc. It does not attune what spell you're using, only the arcane capacity. So in equivalent, it works like spell slots. So you put a 3rd level spell in there, you have a 3rd level spell slot available, or 3 1-level spell slots available. Right now, only
the difference being that in order to store it up, you need to double the amount of potential to use it later.
You have to have it on both hands.
I assume that the 3rd level spell slot I tried to use is used up, right?
Yes, both are used. So each time you want to store it in, you'll do basically a concentration check for putting a spell slot in. The level of spell slot you do does determine how high the DC is. So if you put in a higher spell, it is a lower DC.
Higher level spell is a lower DC.
Did I say that right? Hold on, let me think. No. I
think a higher level spell. Yeah.
A higher level spell is a higher DC. That's why the 3rd one, the 3rd level on your right hand didn't work.
So, I mean, we're talking about Kellen here. So, can I continue this process and attempt storing a 2nd level on the right side?
You can. You finished your attuning. So we finished your attuning process. I will say it does feel a little bit tiring.
Right, but I'm Kellen.
Yeah, I mean, you're more than welcome to do it.
So can I keep going?
Yeah. What are you trying to do?
18, 2nd level spell slot.
2nd level spell slot on the right-hand side.
On the right-hand side.
Okay. What spell are you casting? Out of curiosity. Or are you concentrating on?
Shadow Blade.
Ooh. So you see in your hand this shadow blade kind of appear, and as you do, it fades back into your hand, and you watch those 2 gems begin to light. You maintain concentration on it for much longer than it would be to just cast the spell, and then you see both of those light up. You also feel yourself break into a little bit of a sweat. I need a con save.
Another con save?
This is not a concentration check. This is just a constitution saving throw.
They're basically the same for Kellen.
They are basically the same for a lot of people.
9.
How much?
9.
You have 1 level of exhaustion.
That makes sense. Okay. Exhaustion added.
Yeah. So just keep track of how many you have on each hand.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Yep.
And then I guess you'll find out what happens next. Next time you look through it. Is Kellen finished experimenting?
He is.
It is okay if the answer is no, but...
No, he is finished experimenting for now, but because he got glowy bulbs on both sides. That was the main goal. Now I think, honestly, he had kind of found this like little spot, right?
Yeah.
and I have all my equipment with me, right?
Yep.
I think he's gonna like haphazardly throw out the bedroll and then sleep in his like little spot, despite the fighting going on a ways away from him.
Love it. You're not all that far from the thing. You have no idea what anyone else is doing. You're taking a nap. Love it.
Indeed.
Are you going for a short rest, or because it is not really nighttime?
This is mostly RP. I'm not even necessarily targeting a short rest. If I get one, I'll probably use Arcane Recovery. I imagine it's hard to rest though, in like a war zone. It's more just like the RP of the exhaustion. His immediate thought is like, we need a power nap.
For sure. Do you issue any commands to Otto?
Yes. I command Otto to watch over our friends.
Ooh. So you watch as this like weird wreath of thorny metal like halo that's been protecting you consolidates back not onto the vest that you were kind of wearing, but back into the walking automaton that Otto's like natural form, quote unquote, is. And without seeming to be aware that it's really a war zone, just begins walking down the mountain back towards camp.
All right. Good job, Otto.
All right. For the rest of you guys, you've seen the Vice Chancellor walk away. You've had a little bit of conversation. There's that metal thing coming towards you from the mountain.
Mary points out, it's the big spider thing.
You see a very not spider-looking automaton walk up to you.
It was a spider earlier.
What is that?
It's Kellen's thing.
Of course it is. Kevin, are you
I do want to remind people that it has no face, except it does have a smiley face and pink nail polish painted on where it should have a face. And is otherwise fairly unremarkable. There's a glyph pattern that meets in the center of its chest where there's like this octagonal glass window, and inside there's literal fire that seems to be pulsing.
Then are you around anywhere? I'm gonna blast this thing.
I wouldn't do that because then that's when it looks like a spider. Then it gets all scary.
All of you are very strange people.
Ardris.
Yep.
You watch as this thing suddenly moves incredibly fast. It moves behind you. And as it does, you feel yourself kind of push just a little bit like forward for you.
Is it?
It's like behind you, so you can't see what's happening. All you know is like it moved, it went behind you, you felt yourself pushed a little bit.
I will cast shield just in case.
You do so, for sure. That is a very arduous thing to do.
I will turn around while drawing my big cool sword. What is going on?
As you turn around, you see Otto with its back to you. It has moved to intercept with its hand that has split apart into many different parts an errant arrow that looked like it would have hit you had Otto not interposed himself in between you and it. And you see, like, it's crazy how this arm that was an arm is now a whole bunch of, like, spindly, pokey bits, all grasping this arrow to make sure it doesn't get anywhere near you. And then just drops the arrow, and all of those things reform back into a hand.
Would Otis be able to see where that arrow came from?
It's kind of Chaos of War stuff. You don't think that anyone was targeting Ardris necessarily because you haven't seen a lot of fire in that area. You think it's more likely stray ammunition, incoming or outcoming. You don't know.
Okay.
You all can deal with the weird robot thing. I'm going to go now. Have fun.
We didn't say where we're going.
Should we get Callan before going?
Yeah, we should get Callan before we go. Ardris,
Do you know where Killen is?
I'm going to guess wherever he came from. It's funny, like where Otto had come down from.
Do you know where it came from? Go and find Kellen. I will take care of other things.
Otis frowns. And Miri would know Otis is being unusually quiet. But he frowns at Ardris saying what Ardris said.
I think the camp at present knows that you're being unusually quiet, given your earlier outburst.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So Miri and maybe Otis, are y'all going up to find Kellen?
Otis is going, yeah.
Yvain and Micah, what are y'all doing?
I feel like since Mary and Otis, she knows that they're going to go get Kellen, she's just going to let them go by themselves and be like, so should we get supplies or anything we might need for our trip?
Oh, you're muted. We couldn't hear you.
I'm muted?
Oh, now you're coming in. Your gate
It's just
gets
your
weird.
low register on your mic, dog. You
Yeah.
gotta bring your threshold down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think your gate is really high, so it doesn't catch your voice sometimes.
We require an incredulous Ardris at all times.
Well, if you want to have things for free, I guess. Up to you.
No, I
I don't
wasn't
think
sure.
we're leaving for long.
I wasn't sure what we would need. I don't know how far where we are going is.
Sure, there's a teleportation circle somewhere near here. And that should take care of most of it. But again, if you want to bring something, I suppose being prepared isn't a bad thing.
I think I'm good. I could use a nap, but that's we'll deal with that at another time.
All right, if you're certain. Come with me if you like.
She'll nod, look down at Micah, and be like, "Shall we go with him?"
Okay.
Okay.
Your hands cold.
Oh, yes, it's normally cold. I apologize.
No, just notice. No apologies needed.
Thank you.
And they'll grab it and follow suit.
Yeah, we're going.
Where are you going?
I assume there's like a tent for teleporting. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Miri and Otis, you're on your way to find Kellen. You go up the ridge where you saw Otto come down, and you can see that at the top there is a squad of 6 soldiers that are half trained on the skies and half, looking behind them.
Otis will glance in the direction when that they're glancing in when they glance behind them. If
Yeah, it kind
possible.
of looks like someone's taking a nap. there's a bedroll out, and just like someone seems to be pretty chill. I mean, it's a little ways away. It's like 100 feet away or so, tucked up in a nice position.
Mary's gonna shout to them. It's like, don't shoot. We are with Ardris. We're looking for Kellen.
One of them has a crossbow aimed directly up and is just kind of like looking around, very confused.
They understand what we're saying, Mary?
I don't know. Does it look like they understood it?
Okay, wait. Actually, yeah. First of all, do either of you speak Elvish?
Mary does.
Okay. Otis, you don't have a clue what's going on as they suddenly confer amongst themselves. Miri, you overhear them going like, okay, so Ardris has to be Alarm, right? Like, you don't know anyone else named Ardris, do you? No, I don't know anyone else named Ardris. Who's Kellen? I don't know. And then the one in front kind of awkwardly turns around and is like, sorry? Not quite sure what you mean.
Does he say that in Elvish or in Common?
In Common.
Okay.
Otis was like, that's not true. They said something about Kellen. Because Otis can read lips, observant feet.
Yeah, but it has to be a language you know.
So Kellen has a translation in Elvish?
You don't know.
Wow, Aaron. Okay.
You don't know because you don't speak Elvish.
You don't speak Elvish. Well,
that's cruelty.
No, I'm just saying, like, you can listen to a lot of a language and not be able to pick out a word.
Okay. I'm gonna let it go.
It kind of ends in a apostrophe el, which they sort of roll into their K, so it's hard to the head to like determine they actually said Kellen or if it's part of other words. You know, it's like
Mary will switch to Elvish. We're looking for Kellen. He's tall. He's got really greasy blonde hair. I don't know when he took a shower last.
They look at each other. They look up at their own hair. They look around. They're just like, I don't know when any of us took a shower last.
How many of them are blonde?
About half.
No. She points to like 3 of them. Not
One of them nods their head towards the bedroll that you can see, and then just kind of shrugs.
I mean, we can check. She turns back to Otis and points to the bedroll.
Man, you didn't send them to the sniper, did you? I don't know. Who else could it be? You hear that in Elvish as you're heading that way.
Okay.
What they talking about?
Well, they didn't know Kellen, but he did come from this way. So, you don't know?
You want to try that sleeping bag?
Yeah, let's just hope they're not dead. They don't look like they're moving a lot.
Otis nods. Starts heading in that direction.
Kellen, did you end up finding sleep?
I would say so. If there's not like, active explosions or something, that would be like far too loud. I imagine like rocks hitting the city, like pretty loud, but like how far away from here. So
yeah,
I'd say probably.
Yeah, in your immediate area, it's kind of like in more standoff territory where like there's an occasional like volley of arrows, but not as much fighting in the immediate vicinity. So you guys go up and you can see this bedroll with just like a little shock of hair spilling out the top of it.
Is it blonde?
It is. Galen, how are you currently wearing your hair?
Blonde and greasy.
No purple in it. I'm just double checking.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, it's blonde.
Oh god. Otis, I want you to gently open it because I think that's him. But he's not moving.
You can see that Otis gets a worried expression on his face, but he doesn't move to do it.
Mira will use her mage hand to try and poke at it.
Kellen, you feel an abrupt poke in your back and like kind of the spleen area. It's not like
Maria, stop punching me. I didn't mean it.
Oh god. Okay, he's alive.
You see Otis start slowly raising his little staff.
Mira will go over and try and she'll actually just get on the ground and start shaking the whole thing. You need to get up, Kellen.
Huh? What? Are we under attack?
Currently no, but they're still fighting. Why are you sleeping?
Otis? Oh, congratulations to both of you.
What?
No, that must have been my dream. Sorry.
Otis looks confused but says nothing.
What are you doing here?
Looking for you.
Oh. Why?
Because we're going to leave soon. To go, I guess.
God! Did you? He would like start like trying to like scurry out of the bedroll where you were shaking him. And he's like, "Oh God! If we're leaving, I better get packing then." Where'd my crossbow go? Oh wait, no, that's their crossbow. Okay. Oh goodness gracious! Where are we going?
Does he look okay?
Otis shrugs. Still does not say anything.
Well, we're gonna go back to the main camp where everybody is.
Where's Otto?
He's over at the camp.
Okay. Weird. I told him to protect our friends. Oh, I get it now.
You meant those 6 others over there that don't even speak common. How did you even talk to them?
Huh?
Do you know Elvish?
Huh? What's Elvish? Oh, like the language. Goodness. No, I don't. I'm very good at gestures, though. Give me a crossbow. Shoot stuff. Everyone understands violence, you know?
Right. Why don't we take a little walk, Kellen? We're gonna go back to the camp.
Why would we take a walk? It's nighttime. Oh, no, it's not. Huh.
Kellen, dear? She's gonna like put her hand like around his arm to like drag him back to the camp. Come on. It's almost like, come on, Grandpa, let's go.
Thank you. This is good. Like we're going to see the opera or something. He's just like being dragged along by the arm.
Your squad enthusiastically waves at you as you leave, and you hear what Miri knows to be the word for sniper in Elvish, but you just hear it as a name. They're like waving at you.
He just waves back.
Miri shouts back and points him, Kellen!
Kellen!
And then go back to the camp.
All right, you'll make it without any issue.
Along the way, Kellen would be like, so I found out that it's great target practice to, and then like realizing standing right next to Otis and then just like stop talking.
Okay.
I mean, Otis could probably infer what you were about to say,
Maybe.
if that's based on insight. But Otis would pointedly not be saying anything. And oh yeah, that's right. You're exhausted. You'd be at disadvantage. How would your passive insight look or perception look while exhausted?
My passive insight is 15.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'd say with that 15, you would be able to pick up on the vibe Otis is giving off is similar to the vibe he would give off when you first talked about your suspicions against the vice chancellor.
Yuri?
Hmm?
Did someone betray us again? Like while I was sleeping or something?
No, I don't think so, but there was a little something with Micah.
Otis is like super quiet and it's disorienting me.
You're such teenagers.
Is everything okay with this?
I don't know. Are we
Raise,
good? Oh my god, is that an eagle? Oh, God, I'm gonna try to. Whew, I'm losing it.
Otis is going to raise an eyebrow and point at Miri and use his ring of message and go,
Okay.
Keller might be compromised. Anything he says could be go back to Pyrea.
Oh. She's like, So, Kellen,
Huh?
have you talked to Pyrea in a while?
How long is a while? Because a while is an inspecific term. So in some cases it would be yes, but also like more in a recent time frame, I've been fighting to my life to not die after we got caught outside of the bubble. And then I ran into the bubble, which I shouldn't have done because it turned out the bubble was a freaking trap anyway. So I had the right idea to begin with.
Uh-huh.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was your question?
Yes. Can you talk to her right now?
No.
Okay.
Although I have no idea if she could talk to me right now. Seems like Ardris is capable of doing that.
Is he? Does he talk to Pyrea a lot, or?
Well, he just talks to people.
Oh. Well, I thought something else was going on. Never mind.
I don't think he talks to Pyrea very much at all.
No, that's okay. Otis, I've successfully figured out he cannot talk to Pyrea right now.
That would be a persuasion attempt. It's for sure.
Dang it!
That for sure.
So sure.
Oh, he'll fail it.
The way persuasion works between PCs is that you don't roll it. It is, are you persuaded or not? Like, an NPC tries to affect you, yeah, we'll math it out. But like, in terms of how much Miri can persuade you, that depends how much did Miri persuade Otis.
Oh, that's actually a hard call. Because Otis trusts Miri, but when Otis confided in something very seriously, it did not work out. It didn't suit his best interest. But she's naturally very persuasive. So I guess Otis will talk a little bit. Otis would talk a little bit. And go.
Say specifically. Yeah, good.
Well, Otis will be like, so she's not listening in on nothing right now.
I don't think so. Kellen?
Oh, you were asking me. Good God. I don't know. Probably not.
I'm worried. You're my friend. But something might be happening to you.
To me?
Well, Otis's rationale behind this is last time Otis...
Say it in character. Say it in character.
You're going to make me work
Say it in
this accent
character.
hard. Okay.
Ain't none of us able to read your mind. Say it in character.
Like, ever since you got that new robot, she been doing weird things, using powers I ain't seen before. And then the robot come and find us, and next time we see you again, you exhausted.
Yes.
Is she using you or she using the robot?
The robot came to find you because I said, go protect our friends. And I meant the elves that were there, but it seems that the robot interpreted it rightfully as, our general friend group, which means I need to be more specific with my commands. As far as why I'm exhausted, I don't know. I'm just me, man. Like, I feel this way half the time.
Because you never get to sleep half the time.
I think it's because, frankly, I have two bodies walking about, so each of them is only allowed half the sleep. That's got to be it. It's the only reasonable explanation.
Otis raised an eyebrow.
I don't think that you share, your energy with the other Kellen.
Well, how do you know? Are you a cleric?
Are you?
Am I? No.
Well, I am, sorta.
Oh, awesome. Good. I've been wanting to know the answer to this question for a super long time. If you have two bodies walking about, do they share energy?
Can Otis make a check to see if he would know that?
Make a religion check.
Okay. What am I on that? Plus... Yeah, plus 200. Okay. That's a 5.
According to your understanding of how religion works, everything sort of shares energy. You know what I mean? Like, it's all part of an ecosystem, like you said before. Like, everything has an interaction with everything else. It's hard to say what is an individual.
Well, gee, Kellen, everything's connected. Maybe you're more connected to the other one than I think.
Look. Okay. I get it. You and Pyrea had a disagreement. You're a bit worried. I think I understand what's going on. Probably don't, but I'm just going to go with it. Listen, okay? He will actually try to put his arm around both of your shoulders, like the kind of armor over the shoulders friend thing, if the two of you will allow him to. And he's like, look, private sidebar here between the three of us, okay? If I had to choose between Pyrea and either of you, I'd still choose either of you. We're in this thing together. We're literally trying to save the world. Nobody's doing that. Now, if you tell her this, I will literally gut both of you completely. Just absolutely murdered. But that's the truth, okay?
I ain't worried about you picking her over us. I'm worried that she might be making you do something you don't want to do without you knowing it.
See, I understand where you're coming from, Otis. But here's the thing, right? We could all just be vehicles of the gods, right? They could be up there on some string pulling us, and we don't really make any choices of our own. It's a reasonable fear, but it's kind of the same thing, right? Like, how could I ever know or prove the answer to that, really?
You're making it harder for me to trust you, Kellen.
What? I just said that I would choose you over my girlfriend.
Okay.
I mean, do you know how hard that is?
No.
Right. It was dream. Gonna have to work on that. You can trust me.
All right, that's all right. I'll say that's good enough for Otis. That's good enough for Otis.
Hey, Kellen.
Yep.
You got your arms around your two bestest friends in the whole wide world, future saviors of the world. You see this guy who's carrying a large collection of maps, and he's wandering around looking very, very frantic, and there's this unfortunate moment where he trips over a rock, and all of these maps go flying. And your stomach does not drop. You feel no loop. And you kind of like, it's like you were subconsciously expecting one and it didn't happen. And you start thinking about it and you're like, you haven't had that happen to you in a while now. And then Mary continues with what she was going to say.
Hey, I think, well, I mean, I wasn't really, well, I was a little scared about the thing with Pyrea, but right now, it's a bunch of dogs barking, but right now, I need to get back to camp. I trust that you're not going to do anything, and that you're not being forced to do anything. I think you're forcing yourself not to sleep because you're always looking at stuff.
Oh, no, I was playing with the gauntlets.
What?
The auto gauntlets.
Otto has gauntlets.
Look, I can show you when, I find him again. Where is Otto? Who actually did Otto end up following, DM?
Ardris.
Gotcha.
Well, specifically Ardris and the larger half of the group. So the people he was told to protect broke off into two groups. He stuck with the larger group.
No, that makes sense. So where are the others waiting for us?
Speaking of Ardris, where are you at?
I'm muted now. He would have gone towards, like, I don't know, one of the tents. Basically, the place that he would think would be best to draw a teleportation circle.
Okay, yeah,
Some
no problem.
privacy, I guess.
No problem. You head towards like what is sort of a mess tent, except for right now is not eating hours. So it's pretty empty and pretty sparse. You can move a couple tables around, and no one even bats an eye as to anything that you want here. So you start moving stuff around, and people start helping just because you're doing it.
Thank you for your service. Then he will reach into his pocket and remove the bag of fancy chalk that he purchased before. Unfortunately, it appears I'm a bit too exhausted to draw the spell myself. But I don't suppose any of you can cast a teleportation circle spell.
Sorry, I was muted. Mike would say, "Oh, I can."
Oh, all right. Well, this is not normal. But come over here. I'll show you the runes for it. Do not share them with anyone else, or you would be committing treason and all that.
Secret sigil. Okay. I need 1 minute.
Yes. And he will begin the process of teaching young Micah the sigils to my secret house.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long because the fundamental properties of the teleportation circle are mostly unchanged. There's just a line of runes that give like specific coordinates, basically. And that's the part you have to memorize before you start creating it. So it takes about a minute to see those specific sigils and commit them to memory well enough that you can draw the circle yourself. I would say probably in this process of you guys clearing everything out and getting it ready, Otto is standing by the front, like the tent flap that goes in, looking outwards. And for Otis, Miri, and Callan, you see, as you get down to where you had last left Ardris and company, Otto standing there beside one of the tents. I assume you head that way.
Ooh, I bet they're in there.
Yeah, that's where the spider robot Otto is.
Helen's gonna walk up to Otto and go, Otto, armor mode.
And you watch as Otto steps behind Kellen, and then all of those limbs abruptly fold until Kellen's basically wearing a vest with partial sleeves.
Mary freaks out a little bit, but she...
And the bracers, yeah.
The old tree used to tell me about covering yourself with metal. You sure you want to do that?
I don't really have a choice because he'll show you the glowing spell crystals. There's 3 on the left one and 2 on the other one.
Oh God, did you put like pieces of your soul in there? What is that?
Nope, just spell energy.
Oh.
Oh.
And I think, watch this. And he will go and try to cast shield from the energy of the gauntlets.
Yeah, you do so. Well, actually, shield's what level spell?
1.
Yeah.
Okay. You raise your hands, and there is it's the opposite of muscle memory. It is as if the bracers know what to do, and your body hasn't yet figured it out, but you kind of go through the motions anyway. And as you do, you watch as, because you pulled those plates down, you can see it more obviously, but the whole bracer begins to glow red on both wrists. And then from that, a red shield, unlike Khan's normal purpley kind of color, a red shield appears that encases his body as a normal shield spell. On the gauntlets themselves, as you turn the wrists, you can see there is 1 fewer lit crystal on each one.
Spell energy.
Okay.
How long did it take you to figure that out?
That's what made me fall asleep. So I don't know, a while.
That makes a little bit more sense.
I could have helped you, you know.
There's this poor elf with all of his map spell scrolls who was fixing to walk past you. The shield like bamps up around you. He turns to try and misses it, drops 1 spell scroll, is doing the awkward thing where he's trying to not drop everything else as he picks up the 1 on the ground.
Do you think we should help that guy?
Yeah, but why did you say it out loud like that?
And then he heads away towards the command center.
Okay.
He seems important. I don't know.
Well, he's done already, so now we can't help him, but...
Yeah.
Does Otis know? Can Otis pick up on anything with that passive 24?
By the way, I appreciate that, Otis. And you're really correct. I probably should have asked you for help studying it.
Otis smiles at that. Small smile.
Is 24 your perception or your insight?
That's my passive perception.
Perception. Yeah. You see a dude. I mean, he's very comfortable with where he's going. He looks like he has a lot of stress and pressure on him based on like kind of how he's holding himself. He's got lots and lots of things. He's literally physically juggling, and he just keeps like having physical difficulties with moving what he needs to move. But he pretty quickly gathers himself up and heads to the command center. You didn't notice any other problems.
Okay. I guess you got it covered.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, then we should probably go inside the tent.
Huh? What? Yeah, no, totally. I just was gonna show you the braces.
I see them. Yes.
You're gonna
You're
need
way
sleep.
less excited than I was.
You're
Well,
gonna need sleep. Oh, go ahead.
no. Actually, I have to cough, so you go.
Oh, okay. You're gonna need sleep wherever we're going, Kellen.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
If I was strong, I'd do something about it.
Yeah.
You can make people less tired?
Not yet, but I think I can one day.
Well, you can do it now by sleeping.
Well, I don't know. Charging that thing just takes a lot of energy.
All right, we're going in the tent. She'll
Yeah, that's-
drag them both into the tent.
I said that, right? Didn't I agree? Didn't I? Otis, am I going crazy?
No, maybe. I don't know.
Same.
Send the tent.
Don't.
All right.
Mary drags them both into the tent.
All right. Is Kellen's exhaustion visible, or is it more internal?
Oh no, I'd say it's I would say it's probably visible, wouldn't you, Aaron? Like bags under his eyes, kind of tired.
Yeah. I mean, I would say probably a little bit pale.
Taylor.
Yeah. Which for him, he's like ghosty. He's ghosty right now.
As a member of the Ghost Gang, I understand exactly what that's like.
The ghost. Yeah.
Ghost gang. So Micah will turn their head to the side when they see Kellen approach, and they'll walk forward and they'll say, "Restore order," and they'll cast a greater restoration, so to remove that level of exhaustion
Nice.
that you have.
You do got it.
Does it go down, Aaron?
Yeah, you lose one level of exhaustion. How do you have greater restoration?
The beauty
You're a
of
sorcerer.
it. Yep, Clockwork Soul. Clockwork Soul. You
Greater
get
restoration isn't on the sorcerer spell list.
for Clockwork Soul. It is.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yep.
you get greater restoration, and you get so I got greater restoration and lesser restoration, and you also get a wall of force for free.
Yep.
For fifth
That
level.
was amazing. Actually, my mind kind of has whiplash. I'll be good in a minute.
Oh, sorry.
No, it feels great. Woo.
And they'll use their bonus action to switch a level 3 spell slot to sorcery points, and then essentially just use 7 sorcery points total to get a level 5 spell, and then they'll go ahead and cast teleportation circle.
Step to the circle.
You're incredible. You know that, kid?
Yeah.
Me?
Helen would try to ruffle their hair. Be like, nice work, kid.
And for the first time, there's like a little smile that kind of crossed on their face. And then, but they're also confused by the smile as well. Like, where did this come from? And
It's like there's a smile, but the eyebrows are like, what's happening?
yeah.
It's like,
It's like almost like two separate expressions on their face. And they're like, thank you.
If I could do what you could do at your age, I wouldn't have almost died.
What?
Oh no.
I mean, Micah knows.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Miri knows. Kellen does not.
Luminari.
Nazareth looks at you and is like, what?
You know
And
what
looks at
happened?
Kellen. Luminari. And lights up.
All right. And they'll step through the teleportation circle.
Y'all better go. Let's go.
Yep,
Let's
they're
go.
following. They're
Let's
following.
go.
You got one round to get everybody through here. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, we in.
Conga line into the teleportation circle.
Oh my goodness, no.
Yes.
That
All
would
right,
actually
you-
be beautiful.
Argus has no standing here. We can conga line if we want to.
Each of you, as you get out, blink a much brighter sky here. You are in the middle of a small clearing that clearly has some sort of wards all the way around it because there is this glowing red rope that demarcates the borders of the clearing. So as you step out, you're in this very bright, like compared to what was kind of overcast and weird in or near Fabana, this is incredibly bright. Ardris / Kellen. Which one of you has keen mind? Kellen. You know which way north is. It's that way.
Colin goes, north is that way.
Ardris, as he says that, you know now which way is west, southwest, which is where you need to go.
All right, well, thank you. We're going this way. Stay close. I forget if there are protections around here, actually. So don't go wandering off. And then he'll begin leading the way.
Out of curiosity, DM, super quick, did I complete a short rest while I was waiting for them or no? Either answer's fine. I just need to, accounting.
I think over the course of everything that we got done, you will have gotten a short rest.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yep. As each of you steps over carefully this red rope ladder, you can feel. You didn't realize how protected the space was until you got out of it, and then you are in deep forest, and you can hear a wide variety of animals. There's a massive amount of plants. There does seem to be quite a bit of man-made things around.
How many murder body trees are there around?
How many do you want to try and kick to find out?
That's on Kellen.
Actually, I'm going to say let's get a group survival check going so I can see how you proceed.
Okay.
I'm a wizard.
And
If it gets bad, I got speak with plants on deck. We good.
Wait, so all of us roll, you mean?
Yeah.
I got a 9.
Okay.
Got a 13.
Okay.
20 plus D4.
7 for Ardris. Okay.
Well, it makes sense with their new, the way they're working. They got a good old fat 5.
Oh, no.
Otis got a dirty 20.
Okay. Kellen?
11, which I will remind you is above average.
The party as a whole is quite below average. However, Otis has his head on a swivel. It's kind of keeping track. What you notice, Otis, is funny to say.
That's cute.
What you notice is that there does appear to be the evidence that a lot of this was very, very intentionally cultivated. And you're kind of trying to figure out why as you move out. And you realize as you move, the way that this is planted, it's very, very difficult to go in a straight line. Like in any given direction, you keep ending up spiraling. So even though you want to go west-southwest, you go a little bit further, you end up going west. You want to go a little bit further, you end up going west-northwest. You want to go a little bit further, you end up going northwest. Like, it's so difficult. You keep having to be like, wait. If we keep going down this path, we're going to be going the opposite direction very quickly. It doesn't appear to be like a magical effect where like you're like confused due to a spell. It just appears to be like really good or really bad, depending on how you appreciate it, like architecture It's designed to be disorienting, especially for traveling inwards. So as you're traveling outwards, you're noticing that you're being curved out. But as you look back behind you, you notice it would be very difficult, even for you, to get back to that protected grove from where you are right now, and you haven't even moved that far.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, because as you're curving out and it's constantly curving you, as you're trying to get back in, it's constantly curving you away from the center. So it's a very interesting, like somebody took a lot of time to plan something that on the surface looks very natural, that all of the materials are very natural, but that is in fact like strategic in how it's laid out.
Otis definitely takes note of that.
Yeah, I'm going to say with Otis's high survival check, he is able to course correct you guys enough that when you get out of like this more dense area into more general forest, you're still going in mostly the correct path. You need to correct just a little bit further to go a little bit further south, but it hasn't really impeded you because he noticed this phenomenon. So you've got about 3 hours of a walk ahead of you in order to get where you're going. You know that as you arrive, it's going to be getting into evening, the beginning of dusk. So what is pretty well lit right now, even though a little bit dense due to the canopy, is going to get progressively darker as you travel.
Just a couple of bookkeeping ordeal. Ardris gave me his 60 gold to cast the teleportation circle, right? His 60 gold worth of chalk. Was that correct?
I give you my magical chalk, yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure. So they're going to cast wards on themselves. And I think they're also going to cast 2 wards on Yvain. So you just see like these eyes just start to appear around your area, and whenever you take damage, you can use a D8 and reduce the damage by that D8. So you can do it twice, or you can use both of them on the same roll or separate it. But essentially, you have 2 times 2 D8s you can roll, like a superiority dice to remove damage.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Clockwork sorceress, man, I swear.
How many wards is that total?
So it's 4 total.
Okay.
So I put
how many sorcerer points do you have left?
So I changed over. Well, I can definitely do quite a bit, but I changed over 2 level 1 spells into 4 sorcery points and used that for the wards.
Okay, so how many spell slots do you have left? Because that's your 5th's gone, your 3rd's gone.
So I have 2 level 4 spells left remaining. I have 2 level 2 spells left remaining. I have 2 level 3 spells left remaining. I have 2 level 4 spells left remaining, and no level 5.
Oh, I thought you used. It doesn't matter. I trust your math. I'm trying to get a general idea of where people are. Ardris, where are you at for spell slots?
3 level 1 remaining and 3 level 2 remaining.
Okay. Yvain?
3 level 1 slots, 1 level 2 slot. I have all 3 of my level 3, all 3 of my level 4, and then just 1 5th level.
It's probably an easy way for me to keep track of this, but we'll just go for it for now since I've got half of you so far. Otis?
4 level 1s, 3 level 2s, 1 level 3, and 1 level 4.
Mary?
3 level 1, 5 level 2.
And Kevin?
1 4, 1 2, and 1 1.
Okay. Okie doke. As you are traveling forward, is there anything you want to do for these 3 rounds in order to, or actually, let me say, tell me how you're proceeding for the next 3 hours.
As far as talking?
Are you going stealthily? Are you checking for traps? Are you trying to go as fast as possible? Are you spreading out? Are you moving in a column?
Do we need to move stealthily?
I would presume so. Mike would definitely try to say, if mother in trouble, maybe dangerous, move stealthily.
Otis will not and do that then.
My eye out for anything that seems disturbed in the area. You know, someone looks like if somebody been through here. Argus will lead to protect them from stuff.
Okay, so Argus is in front. Anyone else claiming a spot?
Otis. Go ahead.
I know Mira's gonna stay closer to the back.
Yeah, Otis as a character would stick with Miri, but strategically should be with Argus. But he'll go with Miri.
Okay. Yvain, Micah, and Kellen?
I think Micah would definitely be next to Yvain since they cast the wards. Yeah, but I'm not sure wherever Yvain would be probably will be where Micah is.
I think slap the three of us in the middle because Kellen would probably be trying to stay close to Micah right now. Mm-hmm. So
sounds good. All right, so Argus, since you are in the front, please go ahead and make me a survival check.
Dang it.
You put yourself there, dog. You put yourself there.
You specifically asked for being able to see if there's movement through here.
Oh,
can I have advantage because it's my ancestral home place?
It's not your ancestral home.
It's our. It's our. What's those things called? What are these?
I mean, it's like a safe house, yeah.
It's a panic room. Do I get advantage with it's all panic room?
You've been here maybe like once several decades ago.
Good grief, that's a while.
Reason I was in the front. Well, I rolled a 12.
That's 12. Okay, 12's not bad. As you're moving forward, you're able to keep pace with what you're trying to do. Oh, I forgot to get the group stealth check. If I could get everybody
you got it.
Stealth.
Okay.
Oops.
Come on, dice. Don't let me down.
I already rolled it, and it's a 4.
Very nice.
Oh,
wow. I talked the dice that came through.
Ooh,
Otis got a natural 20.
For a total of?
For a total of 21.
Okay.
19 for Miri.
Okay. Man, we're just hitting both ends of the spectrum, aren't we?
18 for Micah. Makes sense. They presented ideas.
So we got 21, 19, 18, 9, 4, and...
So Kellen got a 16, which isn't bad, but I will say is a 16 with a +9 and advantage. So
that's right, your suit. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. That suit is awesome.
Yeah.
So it the potential was much higher. It did not go that direction.
Still, you do tip the favors in the balance in favor of the group moving stealthily. So there's like one part where like Yvain is excitedly like sketching stuff in her notebook about like some new bird she's never seen before. She gets very distracted about this and forgets that you're supposed to be quiet and goes to call out. And just like that. Shh. But other than that, no issues as you're moving forward. You don't see any tracks that you can discern in this area in order to like see if other people have been through here. You're not sure if you're missing them or if there's just none to see at this point. So we're going to go into the second hour. Are you maintaining the same marching order?
Mm-hmm.
If I don't remember the pathway, then I won't lead.
Oh.
There was.
Otis
I
will
don't
take
know where I'm
point.
going. It doesn't help.
Okay. So Otis moves up to the front in order to get help from Ardris, or to help Ardris. I'll say Otis, go to roll survival. Ardris, perception or investigation, either one. It's different information for each. You just let me know which one you want to roll.
Okay.
The same. We'll do investigation.
Okay.
No, we'll do perception. I have proficiency in that.
Okay.
Aaron, can Otis also communicate to Nazareth psychically to keep an eye out if there's something looks dangerous?
You get a mental acknowledgement, but
Okay.
Nazareth does not move off of Micah's shoulder.
Didn't expect it to. Okay. Didn't expect it to. All right. And Otis got a 26 on that survival check.
Okay.
I got an 11 on the perception check.
You're the chosen one.
As you're moving forward, I'm going to just roll those stealth checks forward because I don't want to have to do group checks all the time.
Can I use the sword to guide me in the right direction?
I mean, you absolutely can because you know the direction of where she is. Exactly. Roll your investigation check with advantage. Or perception, whichever one it was.
Hey, 19.
Very nice. You should. Yeah. So you take a moment, you're just like, ugh. And then in that frustration, your hand curves over the not yet familiar to you hilt. You know, you're not used to wielding this thing. And as you kind of take comfort in the fact that it is at your side or across your back, rather, you remember, like, as you're focusing on where you want to be, you feel where you're supposed to go. You feel like you turn to Otis and you course correct by like a degree. And then Otis, you are able to take that and to successfully navigate forward. With that high, I'll say that you actually do make pretty good time. So you're pushing into the last 30 minutes of this walk. Kellen, Miri, Yvain, and Micah. I would like a perception check out of y'all. And then Otis, if you could give me survival.
You got it.
And Ardris, whichever one you were rolling for.
I got 12.
Got an 18 finally.
Nice.
30-20.
Nice.
Wait, can I use my passive perception instead? It's higher.
Nope.
Was it with advantage or just normal this time?
You can run it with advantage.
Because I rolled a 2.
So natural 20 for 27.
Let's go, Sweet Bean. Let's go.
All right, so okay, hold on. I gotta. Okay. Let me think. What did you get on your survival check, Otis?
28.
This party is ridiculous. You're not even 2 or 3. You're just it's fine. Artist, what did you get on your check with advantage?
13.
Sorry, I only heard the last half.
13.
13. All right. Okay. Otis, you continue moving forward, making even better time. You feel like a certainty. It's almost like the forest itself is trying to help you go where you're trying to go. Ardris, you are capably able to make sure that you're staying on exactly the right path in order to get there. Like, not so much in terms of like how to navigate it, but in like, this is exactly the direction. You're like a little like personal homing beacon. For the rest of you, as you're moving, you take a moment to kind of like survey the area, not in the direction of your travel, but to the left and right to kind of see what you see. Who got the low one?
Me, I got 12.
Okay. You don't particularly notice anything just because it's an unfamiliar forest. It's not a place you've been before. You don't have any frame of reference. You notice more as you're looking around. You do see there are areas where plants seem to be trampled or bent. It looks like something has come through her at some point. Kellen, you are looking at the same things that Yvain is looking, and the way you're looking at it is, it looks like someone has come from the area you're heading to, and is heading not back to the projected grove, but seems to be heading pretty much due east. And Micah, you're looking at all of this, and you kind of just lay it out in your head for a minute, and you go, all right, I don't know exactly where this is, but I do remember what the walk was like to get to the underground dungeon cave system where we fought the Medusa. This looks to be like an approximate size and shape of maybe something like, if you were going to place a bet, you would say, Argis's mom is stone. We know where there's some stone creatures, or there were some. We know roughly the direction. It's probably from here, and it looks like that.
Wait. You're saying this area kind of looks like a representation of the cave that we were in?
No, it looks like if you were going to follow the tracks you're currently seeing that are going to the east, you're heading west-southwest that are going to the east, that you think you would end up in the same area as where you've already been at that little dungeon place.
Oh.
And you think it's very interesting because you know that there was stone stuff there, and Argis's mom is turned to stone.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so they would definitely relay that to the party. See, it seems so weird, convenient.
It seems like a weird convenience.
Mm-hmm. Well, they would have explained, of course, the ordeal regarding the thing be close by.
Okay.
East. They would
rough geography.
Yeah, rough geography.
Mary has no idea what they're talking about.
Otis nods. Affirmative. Otis is well aware.
Otis does not know the geography at all, but Otis knows the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you gotta know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as you finish moving through this last bit, you get to the Formidable Walls. These are massive hedge walls that appear to be reinforced with metal, and look to be metal and stone, and they look to be quite formidable in terms of preparation. Argis, you know that there's a ton of magical enchantment all over this place in order to keep people from teleporting in, keep people from being able to cast magic within it, keep people from breaching the walls with magic. But the gate is open.
It is not supposed to be open.
It is not supposed to be open. At least not if someone was there using it as a safe house.
I'm drawing the big sword.
Yeah.
But everyone stay close together. And then what's the protectively? I am cautiously entering.
Okay. As you move forward, it is getting about dusk now. It's still pretty good lighting, but it's going to get dark pretty quick. There's no lights coming from the house. No fires that are lit or lanterns or anything like that. You don't see sign of... actually, make a new perception check. Make it with advantage because you do actually know this place. I will allow
Another
it.
2. Wow. Okay, 19.
It don't feel good too.
You say 19?
Yes.
Okay, nice. So here's what you notice. As you walk in, you see the long shadows of the trees that are planted through here that are purposefully planted in order to break up line of sight. So that if someone did breach the gate, it would be very difficult to be able to make a frontal assault. There's not like a driveway or some large pathway here per se. It's still pretty wild here with uneven terrain. So that if someone did breach the gate, it would be that much more difficult for them to get to the house. But you do not have to go very far to see the beautiful statue of your mother. She's standing in the middle of the clearing with her hand stretched out towards the gate. Her face looks very calm, a little determined, and she has one hand stretched out and the other is back behind her. It looks like it was maybe holding something. The other thing that you notice with the 19 is that not too much further from that, leaning against the bottom of a tree, there appears to be someone there. Someone's actually, two people.
Are they alive?
They appear to be alive. It's very difficult to see because of they're purposely sitting in shadow and there's a lot of trees in the way, but there do appear to be two alive people sitting on the ground.
Do I believe that they have seen us? Like, do they seem to tense or react to a person entering?
Yeah. Do you believe that they have seen you? They don't appear to be in a defensive or offensive position either. But you would guess, based on the way the shadows are, that they are probably also looking in your direction. You hear the theme.
Is that the anime thing song about to kick in? Are just about to turn Super Saiyan and rush forward with his sword?
Dark Souls for no reason.
Do a 2D fighter real quick.
Art's hair just turns blue.
There's so much stuff over here I couldn't get to myself.
Otis is there with Ardris, right?
Yeah, y'all are all kind of in a loose group together.
Can Otis make a perception check to see if he recognizes either of these individuals?
Yeah, make a perception check. Anyone who would like to get on a general perception check can.
Okay. Live check.
Anybody can make this.
Oh,
check,
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, Otis. Today is Otis's day.
Tired.
Otis has a 29 on that perception check.
26.
Ain
Very
is
nice.
very distracted with a 6.
For you, Vane.
You're staring at the statue going she kind of looks familiar.
Yeah, I think Micah, I did a roll because I think Micah will be more focused on the statue and thinking that's the target. So
Both of you have probably kind of got your problem-solving hats on in terms of the statue and are not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Kellen?
I did not roll perception.
Okay. For Otis and for Miri, both of you look and there's a moment where you're that adrenaline kick hits because you did just leave a war zone. And so you're just and then you're like, wait. Something seems familiar. It's about that time that the two figures at the end of this tree stand up and begin to head towards you. And as they step into light, you see the familiar faces of Professor Alpha Gloom and Old Kellen.
Oh boy.
And I think that's where we're going to pause for today.
All right.
Big Dog became a bird of paradise. I can't deal with this. I heard that.
All right, perfect. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's going to be very juicy to see what happens next. Again, if you like what you see here, make sure to join our Discord, which you'll see in the description section below. We'd love to hear your thoughts about the campaign. And we'll see you next week for our next episode of Rivenwood Academy. But until then, farewell for now.